couple of minute gap on our professional women today, and then we will get Lisa Roberts and Angela Nathan and the rest of our athletes out on the course today. But on our men's side of things right now, you know that Matthew Russell, as they get underway right now in 2019, right here in Chattanooga. This is the Tennessee River, 2.4 miles of swimming coming right up. Matty Russell, he's not the fastest swimmer out there in the course today. You would, imagine that other, athletes like Antoine, Gelacourt des Roches from Canada will be up there. Pedro Gomez, he's always in there. Sam Long, he won the Ironman 70.3 this year in Chattanooga, right up there as well. So as you were talking about in the prelude there, Rachel, swim times are estimated around about just over 40 minutes today because of our current.
Yes, exactly. And I think that really plays to someone like Matt Russell. He's not a bad swimmer, but it's definitely not his strength.
Very nice swim today by Antonio, and he was really simply amazing and just in a zone of his own.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a few swimmers, but they're out back on him, which is a really nice lead to carry in as you go into T1. And he's going to get the full strength of the crowd support. You can see them gathering on the step. And it's a fairly challenging run to get to T1. You see he's got to get up those steps and up another set of steps to get to his bike. But he'll know about that, and he can pace himself as he makes his way through. There he has clear ground. He's got plenty of time. He doesn't need to panic about getting his speed suit off. And yeah.
You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, and as they now make their way up into transition area, you were making a comment about their legs at the moment. They've had to transform now the blood which has been stored up in the shoulders, and now they're just accelerating that blood transformation down into the legs. And as this athlete here, just explain what he's doing there.
Yeah, so you have a choice when you have a non-wetsuit swim, and a lot of athletes are wearing the sleeved tri-suits when they get onto the bike, and that can be restrictive on your shoulders. So we saw the third man there just taking the time to pull up his tri-suit and get those sleeves on. And it's really important to remain calm. It sounds like a silly thing, but you're wet, you have sleeves, it can really get stuck. And the more calm you can stay, the quicker you're going to get that tri-suit on. But conversely, you saw the two other men, one had a sleeveless tri-suit and the other one had chosen to swim with the sleeve tri-suit already zipped up and on. So it's really personal preference and what feels comfortable when you're swimming. So we had
Yes, it was Elias Szymanski coming out of the water from USA in second place. Right there in third place, Pedro Gomez and Nicholas, Chase just getting out of the water there in fourth place today. So we've got our top four out of the water and approaching that bike course, but we've got one athlete, and that is Antonio De Roche. So there he goes out onto the bike.
Yeah, it's nice to have that cushion of 1 minute. He does have that group of three behind them, which for those three, that's a real advantage. If they are similar in ability, they can really ride together and use each other to pace off. Drafting isn't allowed on the bike course, but they can ride the legal 12 meters back. And it's still
and very powerful, and he's looking good. He's been in the aero position. There's not been a hint of him of that lower back tightening up in this shot, so things are looking good, and he won't be getting any information. He won't know what's happening behind him. He's just got to race his own race and do what he can as he can. And as he goes up this,
the combat, the heat, humidity, especially, going through this second part, of the bike course. I always call it the Chris Lieto effect, which is your older brother, obviously, but the Chris Lieto effect was always that, Chris waited until
an extra bottle or two, and we're going to see that in the next 2 or 3 hours. But here he is off the bike. He's one of those very nice transitions that we've got a bike catcher so he can run straight through. He is someone I've seen Sam Long race a few times. I think he likes to run in a running vest, so you see him taking off his triathlon suit, his tri-suit, and run through first person into transition. He's going to get the benefit of all the support of the spectators who have been waiting for these leaders to come. And Matt Russell were holding 6:30. They're running together again. So at this point, he's running a lot quicker than his competitors.
Yeah, he's moving away where we calculated that, he'd have to, lose around about 20 seconds a mile. Well, he's actually gone the other way. He's making up 20 seconds a mile. So this could turn into a bit of a blowout or...
Start to get excited and enjoy I'm not sure if you enjoy it, but, appreciate how far you've come and know that you can enjoy that finishing shoot.
Well, at 23 years of age, most 23-year-olds are not out there winning Ironman races at the moment. If they're 23 years old and they're involved in sport, they're at a high level. They're probably football players and soccer players, and in the caliber of that, baseball and things of it. At 23 years old in Ironman Triathlon is rare to be, winning Ironman races at that age. So he's done an incredible job today. He can reflect on this race and say that he's going to be one of the youngest Ironman champions ever. And just so happened to happen in Chattanooga in 2019 here at the Little Debbie Ironman Chattanooga race, and this is what it's all about. You will reflect on this for a long time. He's going to be talking about his race with his family, with his friends, with other competitors, for the next hours on end, and then tomorrow as they celebrate the race at the awards party. But Matt Russell as well, he's another one of those guys that just, he can be celebrating because Matt, he had a 5-minute deficit to make up on the bike ride today. He had a 5-minute penalty that he, was assessed on the bike ride, when he went through one of the aid stations there. So unfortunately for him, then he tried to put himself back in contention on the bike, which he did. Came back up onto the shoulders of, Chase, right at the very end there, Nicholas Chase, and, put himself into this position where he ran out with Chase and, for about 6 miles or so. And then it was, bye-bye, off Santa, and I'll see you later. But, now you can see that Matt Russell is just having to, just slip into second place and just keep his eye on that prize right now, because this is Sam Long's day. His day has been absolutely fantastic. He's down here. He's on the Walnut Street Bridge right now. Sam Long is going to take this victory. As a 23-year-old, this is going to be a day to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked a bit, I want to talk about Sam Long, but just going back to Matt Russell, it can mentally, it can really shatter you when you get that drafting penalty. So you have to commend him, and, that he kept himself together and didn't give up. He's really been putting in an effort to go for the win today. And that kind of resilience will... put him in good stead in 13 days' time in Kona. But back to Sam Long, he's running over that bridge. He's getting so close to the finish line. How do you think he's feeling?
I think he's feeling dead to the world right now.
Yes.
I think his legs are not appreciating this wooden bridge at this point in time, because it's a little bit forgiving. I think that he'd much rather be on a harder surface, just getting across it. But I do think after he comes off this bridge, he's going to be absolutely elated. That's going to be the point of time. There's a little hump on the top of the bridge there, but that once he gets off the bridge, he knows he's home and hosed. He's going to be inside that last 1 mile as he gets off that bridge. But look, anything is possible. That is the mantra of Ironman, and I look at it this way. A lot of these athletes have to face, a lot of difficult circumstances in a race like today. They're going to face hot and humid conditions. Other races, they face cold conditions. Other races, they find that they're racing on a very difficult course. But today, they've got everything thrown at them. Every one of the elements has been thrown at them. So everyone who gets across that finish line today is going to be such a great Ironman champion, because they have weathered these storms. They have gone through, what it takes to, be an athlete, an incredible athlete on an incredibly difficult day. So when Sam comes off that bridge, he knows that he has all that, to celebrate for. And I think it's going to be a nice celebration at the finish line. Any 23-year-old knows how to celebrate.
Yes, that is true. That is true. And I'm sure at the moment he's just thinking, I get to that finish line and I can stop running. But I'm sure the euphoria, he'll access a different energy system once he gets down that finishing chute, and he'll be appreciating that. But this is one of the longest, I think it is the longest pedestrian bridge in North America, and it feels like it for him, I'm sure, at the moment.
In Tennessee, at least, we know it is the longest, pedestrian bridge in Tennessee. But you can see here, look at, Angela Nath right here. She's just, making her way through this. She's got some sort of, either breathing apparatus apparatus or some sort of nutrition that she's, sucking on right now. But just making her way, out on the riverfront walk as we see that she's going to be making her way, on the far end of the course here. She's not doing too bad. She's going to be sitting inside of the top 20 men at this point of time, and she's right up there in that men's race as we speak as well. So here comes Sam Long. He's off the bridge right now. This is going to be it for the youngster, the 23-year-old. He's going to make that right-hand turn. He's going to make a big sweeping left-hand turn before coming up into Ross's Landing, and right up there in Chattanooga, he's going to take out the 2019 edition with a handy 11-minute lead at the moment. He's done a 47.40 to a 4:23.51. He's going to run around about that 3-hour mark. Today's going to be good enough for about eight and change here. 8 hours and about 24 minutes as he makes his way down toward that finish line. And gosh, what a great race the youngsters had.
Yeah, absolutely. He can really, seeing those words finish this way, that has got to feel good. And it's been a brutal day. It's been really hard conditions. He set the bike course record. He really laid it out. He didn't, he raced to win today, and I really love to see that, especially in someone who's 23 years old, not too experienced at racing in the professional field, and he's really progressed very well. It's been a very steady progression, and here he is. A little sign of a smile as he enters the final few meters of this run course.
There we see, heading under the Walnut Street Bridge, we can see the Market Street Bridge in the foreground there, and this is it for Sam Long as he starts to celebrate, just giving a high five and, or not a high five, but a peace sign out there to some more of the athletes and spectators out on course at this point of time. So we can see that Sam Long now, he doesn't have too far to run, just over 8 hours and 20 minutes on the race clock. He's going to take the victory. We can see down there the crowd starting to build here at Ross's Landing. This is where the Hoke One run course comes to a close for Sam Long today, and now he's stretching it out. You can see some of our athletes just running out onto the course at the moment. They are just simply 500 metres into their run course today, as Sam now has less than 500 metres to run to capture his first Ironman victory of his career.
And he's still checking that watch. He can almost, he must be able to see the finish line almost now, but I think he still looks extremely focused. At this point in the race, you take nothing for granted. You want your body to hold up right to the very end, and he's just remaining focused. And I think once he sees those red banners in the finishing chute, he'll start high-fiving the crowds. And yeah, there you can see he's starting to celebrate, pumping the air and acknowledging the crowd. And this is, I'm so pleased. He's very young, but he's a great guy and has a great sense of humour. And yeah, here he is enjoying it. I think he can't quite believe that
I can't believe it either. He's really happy right now. 2 victories in 2019. One at Ironman 70.3 Victoria. He won the Ironman 70.3 in Chattanooga in May, right on this course, and today he is going to do the double. He's bringing home the Ironman victory here in September. This is the 2019 Little Debbie Ironman Chattanooga, presented by McKee, a family bakery champion. This is Sam Long, the 23-year-old American, as he throws the hat across the line. It's all muscle. The 23-year-old takes it. Rachel, what an incredible race.
That was just super impressive. Someone as young as him, really holding it together. That was a tough run for him, and he had to walk, but he held it together mentally, and he's enjoying this.
Absolutely exhausted. Dave Downey from BCC gets him across the line there today. The on-ground announcer, what an incredible job by Sam Long today, the American. He's had a day of it. One for the ages, a 23-year-old champion right here in Chattanooga. And look at that, can barely get off the ground. Sam Long is exhausted, but not exhausted enough to give a wave to the crowd. Look at that, with a big smile on his face. Coming back out, high fives all around to the mascots first and to the big crowd down here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, you can just see how much this means to him. And, it's his first Ironman win, second win in Chattanooga, and place in Kona for 2020. And, he's on a real upward trajectory, and I would imagine we're going to see bigger improvements in 2020. And as you'd expect from someone who's just 23 years old.
Yep, the Sunto athlete just gets across the line. They are the official training watch of the Ironman, and this is the 2019 Little Debbie Ironman Chattanooga. It is presented by McKee, a family bakery, and today you can see that this was nothing short of amazing. As our first athlete, Dave Downey, going to have a chat, so we'll listen in as he has a chat with Dave Downey about his race today.
All right, here we go. We're with our Little Debbie Ironman Chattanooga champion, Sam Long. You won your first race right here at the Sunbelt Bakery Ironman 70.3 Chattanooga. Came back, did it again, won your first full Ironman. Tell us a little bit about what happened out there.
Oh, first off, I just got to say, this city holds an incredibly special place in my heart. I mean, I can't even explain the culture here, the hospitality, the love I've received. Literally the 2 best days of my life are in this town. So big thumbs up for all of you guys. I want to come back here every year for the rest of my career. And next off, I mean, that was the hardest day of my life, hands down. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, I thought Matt Russell was the favorite, and I've had nightmares about him the last 2 weeks. I've been up about 2 hours every night thinking, how do I beat him? And I came out, I tagged him on the swim. Ooh, I need a breather.
We'll give him a second here. It was a tough day. Can you tell us about the heat out there today? We saw you on the bike. You had a blistering bike, but it was brutally hot.
Yeah, the bike actually felt pretty easy for me. When I broke away from the group at about mile 40, I wasn't planning on breaking away, and then I looked back and everyone was gone. I said, great, let's go with it. The run is where it got hot. It compounded. First lap wasn't so bad. Second lap, if you've seen the footage, I mean, I was dunking my head in the ice. And yeah, I mean, I'm on the verge of heat stroke right now, but I guess the words of wisdom, if you could take words of wisdom from a 23-year-old, are my last Ironman, I DNF'd. I was too focused on the result. I was saying, oh, the goal is only to win. And then in the last 2 months, I said, I have to completely forget about winning. I have to only do this because I love it. And all day I was just saying, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I love it. Yeah, place wasn't even a thing until I got to about mile 21. And then I said, holy smokes, baby, I can win this thing, you know? And dreams come true. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. This is just a total dream come true, everyone.
All right, one last question. Tomorrow at awards, are you going to take that Kona slot?
Probably. See everything. You better come tomorrow to find out. Nice.
All right, you heard it. Come to awards to find out. One more time for our champion, Sam Long.
I gotta go with you. All right, thank you very much, Dave Downey, for the very cool interview. That is a man above his years right there. 23-year-old humility. I just want to say that was incredible. What a great interview. Stopped when he had to because he was just getting way ahead of himself.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I tell you what, the kid was just incredible. He just, he put it out there. He said he had a good swim. For him, he, felt good on the bike and the run. He's very brutally honest about it. And after that, coming in from Boulder, when he didn't finish, he was focused on the result. Today he did exactly what he needed to do just to get across that line. Look, he was so focused and he was so fit anyway, so that was a result that he was probably capable of doing anyway, but he just put himself in a different mindset.
Yes, it's. I think he really showed us how mindset can impact everything, and focusing on the process when you're doing a race of this length. I mean, in any race, but process is everything, and then results flow from that. And here we have Matt Russell. He's taken his hat off, and he's coming into the final few meters, holding up 2 fingers. He's coming second, and I don't want to say it because I hope he's not thinking it, but he'll be doing this again in 13 days. But a great race from him. You know, he really held himself together after a drafting penalty on the bike, and he's had a really good run. And there he is acknowledging the crowd and repeating his second place from 2018.
In his 49th Ironman finish right now, Matt Russell from the USA. He's an Ironman Canada winner. He's an Ironman Lake Placid winner this year. And this is not to be disappointing in his own standards or in his mind, because a second place today.
Great job, gentlemen. Your little daddy Ironman Chattanooga podium. Nick Chase, Matt Russell, and Sam